Hello everybody, this is Gandalf the Grey and we are going to attempt a question from paper 1 mock set 3 Edexcel autumn 2017. So this was question 11 on the paper. P is inversely proportional to the square root of m. P equals 10 when m equals 1/4. Work out the value of m when p equals 2. Now the key word in this question is most definitely inversely proportional. Make sure you underline that part and this part as well, the square root of m. Some pupils forget to do the square root, or they'll just do maybe a square, or they just do m. So square root of m. Now they give you the two values. They'll always give you two values when you're doing a question on inverse proportion or direct proportion. So when p equals 10, m equals 1/4. Work out the value of m when p equals 2. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, we need to write this down using mathematical notation. So inverse proportion. So we have p is inversely proportional. So it's going to be 1 over the square root of m. That's going to be your first line of your working out, and then we're going to replace the proportion sign with equals, and we're going to try and find the constant or proportionality, which is going to be k over the square root of m. Now you substitute your two values in, so we're going to replace p with 10 and we're going to replace m with 1/4. So we're going to get 10 equals k over the square root of 1/4. Now this is the non-calculator paper, so you've got to use your number skills. When you find the square root of a fraction, you find the square root of the numerator and you find the square root of the denominator. So that becomes, if I just carry my working on over here, 10 equals k over, so the square root of 1 is 1 and the square root of 4 is 2. And that kind of makes sense. The square root of a quarter is a half, because a half times a half will give you a quarter. Now we need to solve this equation for k, so we need to make k the subject. So I want to multiply both sides by half. 10 times half is going to give us 5. So 5 is equal to k, or k equals 5. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to substitute this k into this second line here, and that's going to give us the formula to help us work out the value of m when p equals 2. So p equals 5 over the square root of m, and that's your formula. And this is the same process every single time. You do not change. This is how you do it. You have your first line. Make sure you read the question carefully. Sometimes it's the square of m. In this case, it's the square root of m. You have your constant, and then you want to work out the value of k, the constant, and then you substitute it back in, and this gives you this formula here. Okay, now we're ready to work out the value of m when p equals 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let p equal 2. So now I'm going to do more substitution. So it's just substitution upon substitution. So if I carry my working on over here, so 2 equals 5 over the square root of m. So a little bit of manipulation required. I'm going to multiply both sides by square root of m. So I'm going to get 2 root m equals 5. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I get root m equals 5 over 2. And finally, I need to get rid of the square root. So the opposite, or the inverse of square root, is the square. So I'm going to square both sides. So I'm going to get m equals 5 over 2, and I'm going to draw this bracket because you've got to square the numerator and you have to square the denominator. So a little bit of laws of indices. M equals, so 5 squared is going to be 25, and please do not forget to square the 2. 2 squared is going to be 4. So when p equals 2, m equals 25 over 4. If you like the video, if you learned something, please click like and subscribe. You would do me a massive favor. This is Gandalf the Grey signing out.